Hello everyone, thanks for coming outside with me today. We have a bunch of bows here on the table, so I can go through as many of the pieces of the brand new 2022 launch from REDLINE bow hunting. Today we'll be covering all of their new gear that I have here on hand that I have been practicing and using since the month of January. So we're going on almost 4 months of testing for me behind the scenes, and I'm very excited to share my findings with you so far. So here on my wife's beautiful Athens Vista 31 in this Majesty Purple, I do have a 10-inch front bar and the RL5 quiver. We'll start with a stabilizer and work our way back. I love the construction of it. It's a good modulus carbon, and it comes with 3 1-ounce anodized weights, which is great. A lot of manufacturers don't offer you that level of flexibility. It has a nice rubber dampener on the end. It just looks clean, it looks simple, it looks easy, and the price point is great. This back bar mount here and this additional back bar itself, this is a 10-inch, this is a 6-inch. This back bar mount and stabilizer are not from REDLINE. I'm not going to talk about them in this video. They are from other manufacturers. Here, the RL5 quiver, I think, is one of the better thought out budget quivers on the market. It is set up on an angled bracket system, so it actually comes directly back. So you have a thumb screw here, and all you need to do is to loosen that so it makes clear headway, and then this just pulls backwards. Takes a little bit of wiggling, but that's not a big deal. And you have a nice clean quiver package here on your bow as well as on the quiver itself. Putting the quiver back on is very straightforward. It's keyed. There's only one way to put it in. Give it a good push. Push in your thumb screw. And there you have it. Now the RL5 quiver itself, I think, is going to make a great place in the budget market for quivers. You have the ability here on the mounting bracket to shift this entire quiver up and down. So I have done that to get complete clearance around this Hamskea primer rest here, which does stick out a pretty good ways. If you're familiar with Hamskeas and other bulkier limb-driven rests, the robust build of it is great, but it does stick out pretty far. So you always kind of have to accommodate that with your quiver, hence like the Hamskea Epsilon with the new Matthews and their low pro quiver. But this still gets very close to the riser, as you can see, because I haven't mounted all the way back, and I have the arrows then as back far towards the shooter as possible, which means that the balance of this bow, even with the quiver on, is still not terrible. Now there is a little bit of extra weight pulling it down this way, but since it's so close to the riser and it's further back, it's not up closer to the sight itself. You see here with just a little bit of thumb webbing here, it actually stays in place with 5 full arrows. I personally like quivers that have 2 capture points just like this. It does add a little bit of weight to the quiver, but it's ounces, and it really helps secure an arrow in place. You can even run a bungee around it still, like some guys from the olden days used to do. The rubber molded grippers here not only can use a standard diameter arrow, just like this gold tip warrior, but they also are smaller in diameter, deeper into the groove to accept a 1/6/6 shaft, like a Victory VAP or Sirius Orion. The hood does have foam on the inside, which you can choose to remove. There's little plugs in there to slip in your broadheads, mechanicals, or fixed, or you can remove the foam altogether. I personally like to remove the foam altogether. It allows me to push my arrows up even deeper into the hood and get those extra sharp blades out of the way. Up at the top, it already comes standard with a tree hook here, so you can just hang that from your hip strap if you're a saddle hunter, screw in tree strap on your tree stands, whatever it may be. The price point on both these items, I think, is fantastic. You're talking less than $70 for either one of these 2 items, and particularly for a quiver like this, I really like it. You have a nice carbon rod, it's got a nice lightweight feel. The only complaint that I have about either one of these 2 items is the mounting bracket system here. Now, they do have an extra plate to even get further clearance out, which is great, that's well thought out, but this little thumb screw here, it does hold everything in place, that's not a problem, but it's very close. Like, let's say I get it all the way out there to clear. It is very close from just falling clean out of the quiver. So like right around, oh boy, there it is. That's loose. It's gonna fall out. There it goes. So if you're 20 feet up a tree, you're in the dark, you're climbing down after an evening sit, or you're climbing up in the morning, you try to loosen this up and that falls to the ground, I'd hate to try to go find that later. Now, it is a nice tight fit. So if I, go to push this back in here, it's not gonna come out. Okay, it's definitely not falling out. It's a nice squeezed in tight fit, but I do kind of wish there was a different little bit engineering. I don't know if you'd need a longer rod with this. I don't know if you need a different mounting system, but it's like 2 threads, like another 2 or 3 threads, and I feel a little bit better about my life. But all in all, it's still not a bad design. I do like the design, the nice flush tight fit, as well as the compression fit, instead of like having a big lever that cams over or something like that. But anyways, that's my take on the RL5 quiver and the 10-inch front bar. Like I said, Redline does make a back bar bracket as well as a 12-inch and an 8-inch stabilizer as well. They might even make a 6-inch if I'm not mistaken. But I will put all that information to their website. You can read more down in the description below. And I will also put a link to their dealer locator. So if you are interested in checking out Redline gear for yourself, you can head to that local shop and get your hands on it long before you even try it or buy it. But that's all for this video. If you have any questions on Redline bow hunting gear that I have in any of my Redline bow hunting videos or any other products reviews that I do, please follow the links in the description below. Hit me up on Facebook and Instagram. Send me an email, averagejackArchery@gmail.com, or drop a comment here on YouTube. Hope you're able to get outside, enjoy the sport of archery hunting if you so choose. Definitely enjoy God's beautiful creation, and we'll get to see you next time.